Hey guys, I'm Rob Bass, and this is Speaking Geek, the only video blog of all the cool, geeky, cheeky, wonderful geek things that you guys really, really love. I'm using my wife's iPad. I'm not really on the computer right now. You can see the picture, famous picture that's always in the corner. Alright, so today I wanted to talk about, been reading a lot of articles lately about comic book legends who are not working in the business currently. And it has a lot to do with maybe out because they're getting old, or what they feel they're not getting treated with respect. And it made me think about something that Dave Cockrum said, and now this is a big deal because of every old artist who I respect all of you. Don't think that I don't love any old classic artists, because without you guys, I would never have read comics to begin with. But we did an interview several years ago with Dave Cockrum, and we asked him, do you have any tips for young artists? And he looked us right in the camera and said, yeah, don't get in comic books so I have a job. He said that, and he meant it, because he was ticked off that he wasn't getting work. And I think, as much as you guys say, oh, respect young artists and stuff, but when a guy like me who wants to do an independent book and would love to go to a classic artist like you're going to charge me more than your all-time full rate, I can't hire you. And the new art companies don't want to hire the higher rate because it's just the way it is. We can get a cheaper artist. It's just always the way it is. There's always going to be another artist who will do something for cheaper. Instead of just doing the gig, you say, well, I'm not going to do the gig because you're not going to pay me the rate I'm used to. Well, then you're not going to work and make no money. And a lot of you guys can also teach, but you don't want to teach because you feel that you're a working professional. You shouldn't have to do that. But I remember when my wife was going to SVA, Sal Amendola, Carmine Infantino, Joe Cavalieri, Don McGregor, who was my comic book writing teacher, who was working at the time, was teaching. So you can actually do both, and why not? SVA is a place in New York City where you can go and work and and teach the young kids. But it seems to be like you guys don't really want to. You say you want to, but I don't believe most of you. I see a lot of great artists out there, who charge so much for a drawing, but yet we got a guy like Larry Hama who was doing commissions at Emerald City Comic Con for $20. Doing, hey, I'm going to draw Snake Eyes for you. Give me $20, and he was cool with that. And you got an original Larry Hama little sketch of Snake Eyes and G.I. Joe and stuff, and really cool. So my question back to you guys is, are you really not getting jobs because you're being outed because you're old? Or is it that maybe these companies don't want to pay what they used to? And I believe that's true. They don't want to pay what they used to, and I think that's wrong. But the problem is, people aren't buying comic books like they used to. It's a proven fact. When a movie used to come out, remember when Batman 1989 came out? Batman comics were selling, everyone was buying everything. The Dark Knight Returns was selling like crazy in 89. What happened? Didn't happen this time. X-Men movie came out, the sales didn't go up. The Spider-Man movie came out, the sales didn't go up. The Avengers movie came out. Did the sales really go up that much? No, the cartoon did good, the toys did pretty decently, but the comics didn't go up. And bringing in a classic artist will maybe bring back some old fans, maybe. George Perez is brought back on books all the time. He's still working like crazy. And yet, what can we do about that? What's the answer? Are we supposed to just pay higher rate if the companies don't want to? You say you guys would work with an independent guy, but you want stuff that maybe they can't afford to do. And maybe taking a chance on an independent kid who's like, I got an idea, I would love to work with you. I can't pay you this, but I can pay you that. Maybe we'll do a Kickstarter together. Would you guys be interested? And I want to know from the artists who are the ones complaining about this. I want to hear what you guys think. And so if anyone sees this video and you know the artists who are having problems getting gigs, watch my video. Talk to me. I want to know. I would really like to know what you guys think. I hope I didn't offend nobody, but this is my personal opinion. I think it's always a two-way street. Yeah, you guys deserve to work. You're phenomenal. Gene Colan was still doing art a couple years ago. He was teaching my wife. Oh, it's another guy who went to SVA was teaching my wife. Was Gene Colan, and he still every so often did a comic. He still came back, and he maybe he was not in the top physical condition, but he did try, and Marvel did bring him back for some small stuff. Maybe it wasn't a permanent gig, but even so, it's something. Bill Finger wrote until he died in 1976. He started writing in the 30s and didn't stop. Jack Kirby was drawing from the early 40s, late 30s, early 40s, and he didn't stop until almost he died. And he kept drawing until he got burnt by all companies. Remember when Jack didn't want to work for Marvel, he hated Marvel in the 80s, and then whatever he kind of did with DC, and there was all this turmoil. That's the reason why he didn't work anymore, because he was burning bridges. There was a lot of guys out there that were working for a long time. John Romita. And all these guys were still working and still doing stuff, and they changed their position. They went from editor, they did other stuff, and that's kind of like what you do. It's like you move to this position, and then another guy comes behind you, and you kind of, that's the way it works. That's how all jobs usually work. You go from here to here. You move up the bracket or sideways on the bracket or whatever. You could do other gigs, commercial gigs. You can do album covers. There's a lot of jobs out there. Artists are always needed, and classic artists are always good to be seen. T-shirt designs, there's so much to do. So, I guess that's my opinion. I respect all the artists, especially the older artists. You guys, reason we are comic book fans. And leave me a comment, maybe a video response, just, be cool about it. Subscribe to the channel if you want. Follow me on Twitter at altminds, and go alternativeminds.com, minds.com. And, thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.